requirements. Next, we will take a look at the query parameter, and also we'll look at the use cases of the query parameter. Okay, there are three types of query parameters are there. Before even we jump in there, first of all, what is a query parameter? So we know very well, if you might if you could have worked on any programming language, we use parameters in functions and stored procedures. In the case of SQL Server, when you create a stored procedure, you create a you would have created the stored procedure, or you would have worked with creating a stored function. Even in the case of Python or Java, right? So we create functions. The functions, we define the parameters. Why do we need to define the parameters? We want to make it dynamic, right? We want to make it dynamic. Okay. So as the name says, right, parameters, query parameters, what we want to do is we want to make our source query itself very dynamic. We want to change the source query dynamically, or we want to change the result set of the source system. For the source system, in the sense, let's say you are joining more than one table, or one table, you are using one table or more than one table. In that kind of situation, if you want to change the output of your query dynamically, that kind of situation will be using query parameters. By changing the values for the parameters, you can change the output of the data that is loaded in your Power BI model. That is what your Power Query parameters. So why do we need to use this one? The one reason is we wanted to prevent the users, end users, the report users, the end report users to modify these parameters. Okay, to prevent the user to modify these parameters. Number one. Number two is, importantly, we wanted to restrict the users to view the data which they intend to see it. For example, you are the North region manager. You are supposed to see the North region data only. Let's say you are very particular about the sales performance. Because you are the North region manager, you want to see the sales performance about your region. You are supposed to see only the North region. Okay, similarly, if we allow the users to view only their intended data, what will happen is the one or one is performance. You are not going to overburden your server. You wanted to view only the North region, then let's say you have 100 million records, or let's say, simple example, 1 million records. North region, recently you started your business 6 months back. Out of 1 million records, maybe 0.2 million records only related to your North region, or 0.1 million only, 0.1 million record only related to North. In that case, you don't have to take the entire data. Okay, so you are slicing the data, you are subsetting the data, you are taking only the North region data. North region data volume is already less. Okay, fine. So you might be asking this question, okay, sir, I have a South region, but South region has almost 60% of the data in it. So in that case, is it not good? Still, you are not taking the 1 million records, you are just taking 0.6 M data only. So it will not overburden your server, since you are slicing the specific or subsetting only the specific record, right? So let's say you take only the 0.2 million records or 0.1 million record that is relevant to North region. On top, if you do slicing and dicing, you are using slicer and you are making a lot of selections in your slicer, because you want to do 360-degree analysis, and you perform all the things quarter-wise, month-wise, and product-wise, category-wise. You want you want the report to be very more interactive. Hence, you are using a lot of slices. So these slices will apply the filter on the 0.1 mm records only. From the performance point of view, it will be good. If I allow everyone to access the entire data, what will happen? Let's say in your org, take for example, in the case of Walmart, they have 2,500 plus retail chains are there. If you allow all the users, forget about 2,500 stores. In the case of bank, not only the internal people are using the data, customers. If you take Citibank, they have 25 million customers are there in, in India itself. I think so, right? 25 million customers, let's, during the peak hour, if they access it concurrently, let's say hypothetically. So what will happen? The entire data, if they select, what will happen, right? 25 million customers account detail, if they can, even though they access it concurrently, they should be able to see only their data. If you allow each and every customers to view the entire data, it takes a lot of time. From the performance point of view, the query parameters plays a vital role, important thing, right? So it's a very much helpful. And the next one is security point of view, right? The payroll manager need not to see the finance manager's data. It is nowhere related. Okay, their responsibilities are completed. Then why they have to see? If you allow your employee to see other, his peers or juniors or seniors salary to view, what will happen? Unnecessary conflict can happen, confusions can happen, right? So you are restricting the users to be only the security point of view, performance point of view. When you use query parameter, it will be good. Apart from this, dynamically, you can replace the data without even opening the report. Supposing you want to, replace the data in your existing data set, you can do it using query parameter. And also in the case of release management, okay. Okay, and yeah, in the case of release management, it plays an important role, and also filtering the rows and the data source. If you want to change the data source dynamically, that kind of situation, the query parameter is very much helpful. These are the use cases, okay. And filter rows, you want to filter that is what I was talking so far, right? So the intended user should use only the specific rows and keep rows, okay. And then even the case of keep rows, you can use it. How many number of records should I keep it in my data set, right? You can use query parameter even in this case, and remove rows also you can use query parameter, and then replace rows. You remember keep rows, remove rows, I discussed in the earlier session. Look here, if I go here, in the home ribbon in Power Query Editor, there's something keep rows and remove rows. Remember it, right? So this is the one. Here, if you want to keep only the top rows, you can use some query parameter. So you can, if you specify 10, it will display 10 records. Next time, when you want to see 100 records, you are going to use a parameter. When you pass the value, based on which the value which you passed it, the number of top records will get displayed. And similarly, the remove rows also, okay. So in that kind of situation, remove rows, keep rows, filter rows, data source, and replace rows. Replace the values in a rows. That kind of situation also, this is very much helpful. So there are three types of parameters. One is any and list of values and query. So we'll start with explore what is any query parameter. There are only three steps are there. First, you need to create the parameter. Second, you need to, once you create a parameter, you need to use it, isn't it? So you need to use this parameter where you will have to use this parameter to map with your columns to any specific column. For example, in this, it says the country column, right? So you have something like country column. And in this country column, you are going to use the parameter which you created it. So that whatever the country, when you pass it to this parameter, only that specific records will be filtered. Okay. And the third step is, so once you first step is create the parameter, and then use this parameter here in the specific column, country column or region column, whichever column you want to do, restrict the number of records, there you use this one, okay, parameter. And then how to test it, you have the transform data button here, right? So if you click on this, you will see the transform. Next one is the edit parameters. When you click on the edit parameters, it will, you can test it here. It will prompt you. So what country you wanted to view it. If supposing you type North America, that North America value will get passed here. So here the country equivalent to North America only will be fetched. Is it clear? So even in the past batch, I did not explain this much. Okay, right. So we'll see. Now we will do the same thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a parameter. Look here, how do I create a parameter? So you can either, some option is available here. Okay, and if you go to the transform, Where is the parameter here? Okay, here, see I forgot the thing where it is there. I manage parameters right here, new parameter. Either you can click on it here or just beneath the queries in the empty space, you right click on it and new parameter. When you click on it here, so here what I do is I just say meaningful name, country for country column, I want to filter it. Okay, parameter. Give some meaningful name. And then the data type. Here I just select, it is a text, isn't it? Country, you need to type the country. And the next one is any value. There are three types of query parameters. Any, list of values, query. We'll start with any value. Here the current value is in the country. I know we have something called United States. I just type it. You need to say some value here. Otherwise, it will not allow you. Okay. Click on OK. Very simple. The step one, specify the parameter name. In this case, and then data type, and then the type of the query parameter and the current value. That's it. Hit the OK button. My parameter is ready. Country parameter is ready. Look here. Can you say the country parameter is ready? Once you create the country parameter, and if you don't have any error, you will find something like that. Manage parameter. Supposing later point of time, after creating the parameter, you realize that, no, I want to make some changes to this one. I don't want to use any. In that case, click on the manage. If you want to modify this thing, if you click on it here, it will open up here and then here and go and say, no, I want to use list of values, not the any value. Or if you want to change the data, you can change it here. Okay. This is for modifying the previously created parameter. Okay, I created the parameter. Step one done. Step one is over. What is step two? I need to use this parameter. Where will I use it? It is up to you. You can use it for more than one data set also. And here, for example, sales fact. In this table, do I have country here? I doubt here I have country here. Okay, I don't have the country column here. So what column I have here? Location key. I have something called location key here. I don't have country. Okay, what? Yeah, here sales W04 is there. In this table, I have the country column is there, right? So I want to use this. Step one, I created the parameter. I need to use the parameter. For that purpose only, I created this one. How do I use this? In this case, I want to enable the end users to enter the country, whatever they wanted to view it. Okay, dynamically. Okay, here I just click on this down arrow and then you will find the text filters. Here you need to specify equals with. Okay, and here, sorry, sir, not okay, equals with correct only. 1 second. Here, what I'm going to do is country names, no, not like this, country name equals. Here I have an option here. Here you wanted to, but default one is text. ABC, what you're saying is the text one. You can go and say Austria. In that case, what will happen is every time when you run your report, it will show only the Austria report. It is not solving me, it is not dynamic. Okay, for that purpose only, we have created the parameter because we want to make it the filter, right? The filter in the row should happen dynamically. So here you have another option. When you click on the drop down, you have parameter. Click on the parameter. Here we have already created the country parameter. It gets listed automatically. If you have created more than one parameter, it will display all the parameters. Whichever parameter you want to use it here, you can use it here. Since we have created only one parameter here, so it shows only one parameter, country parameter. So now what will happen is, yeah, that's all. I am going to click on OK. So now it shows United States. Why? The current value in this parameter, especially United States, hence it's filtering the current values in this column as United States, the United States column. So where is the country name? Yeah, United States. It shows if you click on this, you can see only the United States. Even if you click on the load more, and it shows United States only. Very good, right? It shows only United States. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to close and apply. First step, create the parameter and use the parameter. Second step, and third thing is test it. Go to the transform data. Click on transform data. Here you have something called edit parameters, not this one. Edit parameter. Now we need to test it. Okay, for example, here what I will do is I will create some visual. This is related to my other sales fact table. I just minimize it. I'm going to create a table like 1 second. Instead of table is boring. I just click on this one. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select from the sales W04 country column. And then I drop the sales here. It shows, look here, since the current value is United States, it shows only the United States data here, right? And if you hover the cursor here, so 20 lakh and all, that is what the sales. And if I click on the edit parameters, and if I say Germany, and then if I hit OK, it will show only the Germany. It filters only the, so in this case, what happens since I've created the parameter, it dynamically filters the data at the source system itself. Look at Germany. But here, in this case, what happened? The users are allowed to type any country. Let's say you are the CEO of the company or topmost guy, right? So you are supposed to be allowed to type any country. Now you want to view any country, but at a time you can view only one country or only one region. Instead of country, you can create a parameter for region also. So in that case, you can create more than one parameter also. Country parameter, region parameter. In this country, which region you want to see it? You can restrict that way also. Okay, but the any parameter, there are three types of parameter. The first parameter is any parameter. Any parameter allows you to type any value here because it depends on the user. So what we are going to do is once we create the report, we will be sharing it to our manager. He doesn't know all the things, okay, where to create parameter, no, he doesn't know, okay. So when you open the report, what will happen? It will prompt him to enter the country name. It will not open without prompting him. If I share it to you now, when you open it, it will prompt you. Okay, so you need to enter the country name. Without entering, it will not work. Okay, so here Germany you are entering it. When you hit the OK, only in the. But point here is you are allowing the report user who is going to use your report to type any type of the country here. Again, it depends on the the report user. If he's a CEO, he wants to see any country. But even though he wants to see any country, you are restricting to enter only one country here. So you can select only country at a time. You can enter only one country, so that you can see Germany, and then you can see, okay, Germany, this is what my says. So in that case, you are querying only a subset of the data. Okay, this is what any parameter. The next one is the the next one is the any parameter, and type of. So now what you are doing is, let's say you are giving to a region manager. The region manager, let's say a specific region manager, he handles two or more than one region: north region, south region, east region, or some specific countries. 3 countries is managing it. VP sales, let's know VP sales. So this guy is handling. I'm going to reuse the same country parameter to demonstrate the second type of the query parameter. What is the second type of the query parameter? List of values. Okay, I'm not making any changes here. Only thing is I just changed it here. Here I just say, hey, this guy should be able to see United States, and then Germany, and then let's India. You just think that way, okay? Default values United States, and current value you can select it from here out of this, India. You just give like this. So here what we are doing is, when you share this report to a specific report user, you will be allowed to select any one of this country. You can either select United States, but it's kind of drop down, it will display. It's something like this. Look here it displays, right? So of these three, he has to choose only, he has only three options. He has only three options. Either you select this or this. Okay. But apart from these three, you are not allowed to see. Okay. So certain users, you want to create this kind of, roles. So if I click on OK here, it is done. And do I need to specify this one? Since I did not change the parameter name, I already mapped it here. The current value is country. See, look here, it is working perfectly, right? So look here, and then here I just already mentioned it, right? So hence I don't have to do it again. The country, it is doing it correctly, and I just go and close and apply. But make sure that you are closing it, applying it, or you're applying it. Don't click close. I click on the transform data. Here I'm going to click on edit parameter. Look here, the drop down, the list of values are available. Look, currently it shows India, right? I just want to see Germany. Of these three, you have only three options. It is as simple as that in the case of list of values. Or if you specify four values, you have only four options. Now it should show Germany, right? So I have selected Germany. Yes, Germany. It's working perfectly. Okay, now I just go back to the edit parameters. This time we are going, sorry, not edit parameters, and transform data. This time we are going to explore the last type of the parameter, which is nothing but query. There's something called query. In the case of query, we have one more step. First, we need to create the query. Okay. So what do you mean by query? First step is, for example, sales W04. I just go here and then the country column. Yeah, in the country column, I click on the drop down. And then what I do is here, it should show clear filter. Okay, let me do one thing. I just go here, text filter, and here equals. Here what I am going to do is, okay, sorry, sir, not that one. Here, I want to remove this one, remove empty text filters. Okay, let me do one thing. I just go here and, okay, what I will do is I just, let's manage this, manage parameter. Here, the query is not there. Okay, here I'm so okay. What I will do is, in this case, I just remove this. Okay, delete. But it will not allow me to delete. Reference by another query. Say okay. I did not check it. I checked it here only, right? So let me just go here and see the country column. Ideally, here it should show the. I don't know why it's not showing. This is quite surprising. Let me do one thing. If I delete it, it is not working because it cannot be deleted because it's being referenced in sales W. We have only one table, right? Sales W04. Yes. Here the country column. Where is the country column? Clear filter. I just say here manage parameter, and here it will not allow me to delete it because it is being used by another query, sales W04. Sales W04 already it is there, and here the country column, you should clear that one. Here that icon should be there. Surprisingly, it is not there. I don't know why it is not there here. The clear sort should be, sorry, clear filter should have been enabled. Okay, and something wrong here. Okay. Let's do one thing. So here I just right click on it. Okay, right click on it. And then first step is add as new query. Okay, forget about everything. Okay, I'm going to create a add as a new query. In the country column, I created a query, which means lookup table kind of thing. Okay, it'll select all the countries in the query. Basically, when you share a report to your senior people, right? When they open it, it should prompt them to show all the countries. It should show the list of all the countries that are available. They should be allowed to select any country. Okay, that is the whole idea. Look here, I just right click on it and then remove duplicates. Because this kind of a lookup table, currently only country is there because we have already applied the filter there, because of which it is there, right? So here I just select the country parameter, manage parameter. Here what I do is any value, instead of that, I just select query, and then I'm going to use the country query. Look here, this is the country query. And then I'm going to hit OK. Fine. So now what will happen is, if I go here, it is throwing an error. Cyclic reference was encountered because you are using the same thing, because of which it is causing the problem. 1 second. This is something strange. I never posed this issue. I think something wrong here. The clear filter is not coming up here. That is the problem. Okay, let me do one thing. Added customer invoked function, reordered columns. Country 1 is a cyclic reference. 1 second. Here also I'm removing it. Filter also I'm removing it. Here reordered columns, right? 1 second. Here, can we see any filter here? And the thing is, we can remove it here also. Look here, now I removed the filter. This is another way of doing it. Okay. And what I'll do is I just go here, manage parameter. Here I just select the query and query as 1 second. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just delete it now because I removed it from there. This is another way of removing it. So if you don't see clear filter, then you go to the transformation, delete it there. Okay. Ideally, we should not play around with the same parameter. That's the reason why it is causing confusion. query parameter. Okay, query parameter. Here I select the text and then any value is query, and then here, okay, it's not displaying it here, the query parameter. What's wrong here? Okay, there is something wrong with the country here. There is an error, right? 1 second, the country. Okay, I just delete it. Sales W04. I'll go one more time. I just right click on it and add as new query. I just do it here now again. Right click on it and then remove duplicates. Yes, now your query is ready, but still it is going on. Let's wait for some time. Okay, your query is a new parameter. So in this case, I just use this one as parameter one, and I just say query one. Yeah, you need to click on it here. Country. Sorry, I did not click it there, right? That's why I saw this one. I got confused. Okay, here this is United States. Okay, good. So first step is we need to create the query. Second step is you need to create a parameter. In this parameter, you need to specify the type of the query parameters country. And then the next step is you just go to sales.0. You have created the parameter. Okay, and you need to use it. And I'm going to go to the country column. Where is the country column? Here, right? So here I just go here, text filters equals. Here I just say parameter one. In this case, the parameter one. I just click on OK. It's working perfectly. Okay, it's perfect. It's working perfectly good. And the next step is test it now. Click on the transform data, edit parameters. Here, what you do is look here, it gives you the list of values. This is also similar to list of values, but it gives all the country name here because you have created a query on the country column. What are the columns that are there? What are the values? What are the countries are there, right? So that is what is displayed here uniquely. We don't have duplicate values because we removed it. So in this case, the CEO, right? So let's say the CEO is having some pain point instead of typing it, right? So some country names are big, right? So he doesn't want to type it big country name. Or to improve his experience, we are giving something like this. Whatever the values that are there in the table, they can pick up here and click on OK. Look here, United States. Sorry, Democratic Republic of the Congo. This is what we selected because the country name was big. With the help of this one, we're able to do this one. United Kingdom, Mozambique. And if you click on this, so Mozambique, okay, good, fine. So these are the three types of parameters we have explored. So what you do is you practice the same thing. Okay, you have the sales W04 data that is available, right? Okay, you must have downloaded all the things, right? And the next one is only this table. We played around with this table and sales the merge all these types. Best thing, I'll just rename this file. I'll send it to you so that you can work on the joins, everything. You can explore it and you can find out the answer for those things. And you can do some Googling also, right? Help is available. Look at what is the difference between these, because the output is more or less same, right? You just check and come back with your observations. Let me see how many of you are coming up with your right observation. Okay. And then sales W0 query parameters. Okay. And apart from this, the source system thing. For example, I just go to the transform data. Another use cases where and all I can use the query parameter. The other place where you can use it, the file itself. For example, if you go here, currently I'm in the sales W04 query. Here on the applied steps, in the left, and here the source. Next to that, we have the wheel icon. I just click on it. Here it shows the path name, right? File name and then the folder name. Here it's something like hard coded value, HARD, hard coded values. You don't want to use this one. Why? Because currently you are working in a development folder in real-time scenario. Okay. And once you are done with your report creation, everything, then your report file get moved to another folder or the other team, the QA people, testing people. What they do is they might be using the same table name, but the data are different. To test various scenarios, they would have created different set of data. Let's assume that that data is in a D folder. Okay. So when in that case, what will happen? Testing people, they should be knowing where to change the path name, but they do not know the ABCs of Power BI. All they do is they will open our report. They will open a report and see the they'll apply the filters, everything, check the formulas, everything. That's all. It is painful to open and change the path and all. So for that, we are going to use parameter. For example, here itself, we can create a parameter. Instead of going, here and there, they kept it this one. This is, let's say, you say SRC param. Here you say the text type and then any value. Current values, C colon, dat, sorry, here in my case, D colon, dat1 and sales underscore W04.CSV. That's all. Here I map the parameter. I need to my SRC parameter. So two parameters are, this is the parameter related to this one. So that they can dynamically change the path name and then folder file name also. This is another use case. See here, I just made a mistake in the parameter. Okay, I just go and change it here. See here, instead of colon, I made a mistake here, right? So semicolon I give. It should be colon. Yeah, if I hit OK. This is the second use case. The previous use case, we have seen how to dynamically filter the data using three types of parameters, query parameters. Now what we are doing is, we are using query parameter to change the source folder name dynamically. We are using this one. Okay. I'm going to close and apply this. I'm going to click on transform data to test it, edit parameters. Look here, this parameter already we have a query parameter, it is there. In addition to that, we have another parameter. So D colon dat1, this is the folder. Let me see if I created any other folder and then file explorer. QA, yes, I have something called QA. Okay. QA also the same thing is there, QA. I just say, in this time, hey, use the file that is available in this folder. This is for testing purpose. Test, the QA testing team, they are using different data. So I'm going to apply. So this time you go and pick up the data from that folder. Dynamically, it goes and checks. The testing team, they need to type the folder name and the file name. That's all here. Okay. The table was not okay. In that file, the row.id column, I removed it. That is the reason why it causes the confusion. Let me just edit this one. Notepad. Row.id is there here. Okay, what is the problem here? D colon that one. Here also the column is there. Okay, here I removed it. Let me do one thing. I just discard the changes. Let me go to the data model directly instead of opening. That takes a lot of time. Okay, here the sales W04, where it is there. Okay, instead I just go here and then let me select sales W04. Here also row.id is there, and why it is causing the problem there. Okay, let me just test it again. What error are we getting it here? D colon that one, and here I just say QA sales underscore W04.csv. Maybe I think I applied it there, column row.id table. Let me do one thing. So this is the whole idea. Let me do one thing. I'll just go and check whether I have the row.id is there here. Okay, row.table was not found. Okay, I just click on this. Go to error. Change the type. Okay, this is where the problem is there. Row.id is there now. The column row.id of the table was not found. Okay, here, let me just check. You see here it will not show. Yeah, here it shows row.id. Okay, promoted headers. Row.id is there and change the type. Row.id of the table was not found. If I don't change the data type, everything else will cause some problem. The column sales of the table was not found. Okay, here we promoted the headers. It should start from here. The sources. Okay, when it comes here, it goes and checks the row.id and it should come to this level. Row. Okay, maybe the other problem. Let me do one thing. I'll just close it. Discard it. The problem is I just go to the QA folder. So not the QA folder, that one. And then the sales underscore W04, sales underscore W04.csv. I just copy it and then we'll put it there. If I test it now, let's see what happens. D colon QA and then sales reducer for CSV. So now it will open this file and then it will promote the headers and then it has to change the data type, everything. Now it's working. Can you guess what was the problem? You should be very good at the time troubleshooting also. See, in this case, what happened? Here I kept one file, wasn't it? So that file, initially it was not having any blank value. Whereas if you open this file here, you open this file, it takes a lot of time. Look here, after this column name, there was some blank values there. Okay, there was some blank values there. Okay, look here, that is what is happening here. When you open it, if you see the first row, currently I'm in sales W04. If you go to the source, what happens is, see row.id, just beneath this, we have one blank record is there. But in the QA folder, I don't have this blank record. So what happens is, first it loads the data and then it directly checks, whether row.id, it comes to the second one, row.id already was available here. Instead of row.id available here, in that data file, the row.id is already available here. When it comes here, the row.id is not there. First column row.id, because we already got promoted. In that data set, we don't have the blank records here. So whatever the statement that I say, if you want to validate it, you go ahead and try it out. So in this file, in this create folder, keep one blank records here. For example, here. But here, already it's a blank record. Is there? Yeah, we will open it in the form Excel. Look here, when you open it in Excel, you can make out, right? The blank records. If you remove the blank record, and then if you try it out, what will happen is, since this column is already available in the first row, it doesn't require promote headers. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. So now you understood how to troubleshoot these kind of issues also, right? I just save this file and I'll rename it and then I'll start to. So today is going to be a good session for you all, right? Because a lot of learnings and you just give it a try and then, right. And the other one is the replace the values. You create another parameter, right? So that parameter, what you need to do is you need to go to the transform data. For example, you have the same day shipping, right? Here, you right click on it. So if you want to replace value, this is how we replace the value, isn't it? For example, if you want to replace something, you just go here in the ship mode column, values to find. What you do is use parameter, create two parameters. What value you wanted to find it in this column, and then replace that value with this value. Supposing you have some, inconsistency, somewhere they use same day, somewhere they use yes day, right? So in that case, if you want to make it consistent, what you do is, the other classic example, even the order date, right? You take order date column. Look here, hyphen is there. Here we manually went and changed it. Replace all the hyphen by forward slash. Instead of typing it, you create two parameters. When the user open the report, it should ask, the order date column, which one you want to find it, with, what value needs to be replaced. That's all. Instead of, you create two parameters and try this one. So these are the use cases. Apart from this, you have something called keep rows and top rows. For example, in keep rows, And here also you have something like parameter will be there. So here you can create the parameter. That's all here. Create a parameter. Give some other parameter, top rows parameter. So the top rows parameter, right? So when you test the report, how many number of records you want to do, keep it at the top 5 records or top 10. That is the one. Remove also same thing, remove rows. Give it a try for this one, and then let me know your understanding about this. Okay. Any questions? I think rest of them already they dropped. I think they would have slipped off. Any questions? No. Okay. So fine. I'm going to wrap up the session now. Since you don't have any questions, we'll share the video. I know all of you are aware of your playlist, right? Yeah, thanks, sir. I will share the playlist once again so that you can save it. A couple of people, they don't even know. I'll save it once again after uploading everything, right? Sorry, I will share the playlist of your batch, right? And then you can check the updated videos there. Okay, fine. Thank you. Good night. Take care. So, yeah, the last point, what we will do is this tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I'll be busy. This Friday, we'll have a session. Okay. This Friday we'll have a session, okay? Because this weekend also I will not be available. I'll be traveling, okay? I'll be out of country. Anyhow, I will update you on this Thursday, okay, about the plan, okay? But tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'll be there. But overall, 4 hours we'll try to cover this week, okay? Don't worry.